like the 21 million Bitcoin, obviously. So we have up to the first level, now only 10 more places left. I think, can you switch to the presentation now? So we have this new concept of the Crypto Hall of Fame, also because now we really have a hall. We have a 3D thing. We just discovered it months ago. The Crypto Hall of Fame, let me just think a bit. It's such an exciting moment. Next slide, please. It's obviously modeled on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which you might all know. And we thought, if the rock stars can have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, why not the rock stars of the crypto movement? So we started this. And next slide, please. And so far, yeah, you saw them before in the football video, and also can always go to the 3D gallery on mix.net. These 11 people here have so far been inducted in a very kind of informal process. But now to choose the 12th member, all number 13, 14, up to 21, we will probably do this twice a year. I hope we can do it next time in Buenos Aires at La Bitcoin. Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, that would be great. I hope you can all come to Buenos Aires. So let me talk a little bit about the process. Next slide, please. Oh yeah, this is the artist. He cannot be here. He's very shy. He doesn't speak Max script ahead, but he's a good painter. But it doesn't matter so much. The whole crypto community could suggest pioneers, and there were like many people who suggested this gentleman here, Diego. But it's not a public voting. You want to have expertise. So these people, everybody can suggest pioneers, and from that list, then the selection committee, this selection committee decided who is the next member. Aaron from Wirdum, from Bitcoin Magazine, Alexander Kons from Being Crypto, Amelia Tomasicchio from the Cryptonomist. You see some journalists, but also Eryka, Gemma, wanted to be here, but she had to go, sorry. Gemma from Cointelegraph, Olga Filatova from the Crypto Art Museum, and Roger Benites from Bitcoin Center, New York City, but also here from Miami. These 7 have decided about the next member in 2 rounds. First round was like a kind of open voting with 3 votes, and everybody could be voted. And we had 2 people in front, Diego Gutiérrez Zaldívar and Ralph Merkle, not related to Angela Merkel, fortunately, but the inventor of the Merkle Tree, which you might know. So then these 2 went into the second round. And the second round, Max already made these paintings, just in case, and maybe sometime later, the one who will not be selected will be selected later, so the painting will not be done in vain. And now I have, well, Eryka was unfortunately kind of the queen of the jury, but we have the queen of Bitcoin here. And Annalise, queen of Bitcoin, please let us know who's the winner. Will be inducted to the Hall of Fame. I'm very excited.
All right, guys. So real quick, who do you guys think it is? Is it Rock? 41 with Diego. And here, woo for Diego. Yeah. And he's right here.
Somebody here who knows you quite well. Thank you so much. He knows you quite well because I think you will have a little acceptance speech before, as tradition. When the people went up to the football, Rock Hall of Fame, Big Jagger gave the classroom. So I asked the Big Jagger talk about our old friend here.
Bueno, in English, please. Yes, I do that part. Bueno, I'm Rodolfo Andrés. I'm partner of Diego in several projects. Actually, I guess we both started promoting Bitcoin together in 2013. 2012, 2013, we started the NGO. And actually, Diego is an inspiration for a lot of people around Latin America, I would say. but actually it's an inspiration for everyone who works with Diego. It's a natural leader. No, he leads with his passion and his thoughts and his open mind and humanity. He's a very human person. So I'm really glad and satisfied of you getting this recognition because you really deserve it as the man that you are. So I'm glad you.
Mr. Gutiérrez, are you accepting this induction?
Yes, I'm very touched. You know, Rodolfo and our other partner, Bram Cohen, who's not here, but we started building the community, the Bitcoin community in Argentina in 2013, and then we helped create Bitcoin communities in all Latin America, Uruguay, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, and as part of that, we built the La BitConf, the first Latin American Bitcoin conference, the Bitcoin Center in Buenos Aires, La Bitcoineta, and then roaming around Latin America, sharing about Bitcoin, you know, in the small towns of Latin America. Many projects, because as Rodolfo said, we are very passionate about this, and we think this is a technology that can help Latin America, you know, grow, thrive, and bring Latin Americans, you know, the prosperity they deserve. So for us, it's more than technology. And if you ask me, I think, you know, of course, I'm the recipient of this honor, but I don't feel it's me. I feel it's like the Rodolfos, the Francos, the whole community that, and I'm just representing them. I think this prize is for all the Latin American community. That is one of the most amazing crypto communities in the world. And hopefully, I think that's where we will be able to show and demonstrate the power of crypto for humanity and society, and how we can really, you know, create a better world, more equitable, more open. So that's it. I'm very proud, but I think this is for every Latin American person helping the crypto movement grow and transform society. Thank you.
I think one of the reasons why you went active was definitely your activity in the NGO and the work in Latin America, but the others, of course, also that you bring smart contracts to Bitcoin, which is a huge step, I would say, for humanity, right? So please tell us about that.
Yeah, I think driven by that, and I think I need to add the acknowledgements to my other partners. It's like driven by this need to bring like prosperity to Latin America through cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, is that with a set of partners, among them Sergio Lerner, Adrian Edelman, Ruben Allman, and Gabriel Kurman, in 2000, well, late 2014, we started discussing how to extend Bitcoin to become a full, Turing complete is the technical name, but it's basically a general purpose ecosystem where you could run any kind of business logic, you could represent any asset, because we needed like stable assets to actually provide services to those unbanked in the region. They cannot be exposed to the volatility of Bitcoin because they live day to day, week to week. So with that idea is that we said, okay, how we can extend Bitcoin, not only to be digital gold, this amazing, powerful reserve value asset that, in my opinion, will remove a lot of the violence in our societies, because a lot of the fights in our world today are about which currency is dominating the international trade in the world. And by having a not neutral asset, we are removing a lot of the violence in our society. But we wanted to go beyond that and say how we can use this amazing reserve asset, how we can use the safest and biggest decentralized infrastructure in the world to secure a financial system that can serve any human being in the world, regardless of their current financial condition. And with that idea is that we started creating a second layer to Bitcoin, RSK, a sidechain to Bitcoin.
The Sabo was involved in that, right?
Yes. I mean, yeah. If you want me, I can tell the. No, I think I tell the story. I was doing fundraising in Palo Alto in Silicon Valley, and a friend of mine that I met, well, it's actually a friend of ours with Rodo, that he went to La BitConf in 2013, and we clicked, he told me, why don't we meet in Palo Alto for some drinks and catch up? And I think it was a setup because basically at a certain point in the conversation, he said, you know what? I think I want to introduce you to somebody. And he went around the corner, like, I don't know, 10 meters, went back, and he came with Nick Savo on the side. So actually, I think Nick Savo wanted to know what we were doing in Latin America, how people was using Bitcoin, like understand better what was the Latin American landscape for Bitcoin. And then we started discussing a lot of things. No? And I was sharing my vision of how we, I think Bitcoin could be the foundations for an inclusive financial system. Half of the population in Latin America, it's underserved or not served at all by the financial system. So I saw the opportunity of like actually on Bitcoin foundations build the financial system to serve those unbanked in Latin America. No? And then we discussed about Ethereum because Ethereum was like, the idea of Ethereum was announced in January 2014 in the North American Bitcoin Conference. I was there also here in Miami in January. I was also there talking about Bitcoin in Latin America in that conference. So I saw Vitalik's presentation. And my feeling was that like setting up a new infrastructure, a new decentralized security infrastructure and giving liquidity to a new currency like Ether was going to take too long. It was not that I thought is wrong. On the contrary, I believe in diversity. I think I always talk about the concept of the Internet of Value because I think what we are building is exactly that. We are building a network of networks for the store, transfer of value. And I think that diversity is the best way to protect that open financial system we are creating. No, not at all. Not at all. Although, I can see that Ethereum made some mistakes, but I understand that they made those mistakes because they were the first movers. And when you are the first mover, there are a lot of things you cannot foresee. It's like part of being the first mover is the cost of that. So it's like if Ethereum is facing the problems it's facing today, it's because it's very successful. So what can I say? I mean, we are learning from them. So we are trying to use those lessons to avoid falling into the same bottlenecks and same problems. Well, you can think about it, not in a diminishing way. Just, yeah, I mean, they have done so much innovation, research, and things that it's awesome. It's like what Ethereum did. But back then, I was like, I started with a group of voluntaries before meeting Nick, going to the slums in Buenos Aires and trying to do experiments like with Bitcoin. And then I realized we needed stable assets. I didn't want to have business logic in centralized parts. So I wanted to have store of value, but also the agreements between parties, I want them decentralized. So I had a lot of learnings from that process. And also the World Bank back then forecasted that by 2020, half of the unbanked population was going to have a smartphone in their hands. So my vision was like, if we manage to do this fast enough, in 5 years, we can have a solution for those unbanked in the world to actually have access to financial services. And in my point of view, the Occam razor to that was actually building on Bitcoin. So that was mostly why we wanted to extend Bitcoin. It's like because it was the centralized cryptocurrency with the biggest network effects. It was the crypto asset with the most liquidity around the world. And we thought it was the fastest way to actually deliver an inclusive financial system for everyone. And with that, among those conversations is like that the name of Sergio Lerner appeared because Sergio was the first one to create a Turing-complete cryptocurrency or a general purpose cryptocurrency in May 2013, like 1 year before Ethereum was announced. So that's when an email from our common friend went to Sergio saying, we were discussing this with Nick and Dieguito, and if you are willing to extend Bitcoin to be a Turing-complete or a general purpose cryptocurrency, you have our support. So why don't we work together? And then in La BitConf in Rio in 2014 in December, we spoke with Sergio. I shared some of my ideas about creating peer-to-peer monetary systems where Bitcoin was a reserve currency. You could issue stable assets, a dollar, for example, base stable asset backed by Bitcoin, going back to the Fort Knox model, but instead of withdrawal using Bitcoin with full transparency. And Sergio told me, you know what, doing that or doing the full thing is the same effort. Why don't we go for the full thing? And then 2015, we started like having cafes in Buenos Aires, discussing ideas of how to make this happen. Sergio created a white paper, sent the first version to 5 people, Andrea Santonopoulos, some of the nominees here, well, not the nominees, the elected ones, the members, Andreas, Nick Szabo. Nick Szabo got so excited about the white paper. He said confidential all over the place, like across the thing, but he just tweeted like, Rootstock, the best of Ethereum and Bitcoin combined. And then we said, okay, we have to do it because now it's in the open. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but the truth is like we started fundraising, and January 2016, we got our first million. Later that year, we delivered alpha version of RSK. On the following year, 2017, we got $3.5 million to launch the network in production. January 2018, RSK was launched with 5% of the hashing power of Bitcoin. And 2 years later, it reached 60%. On some moments, it has 80% of all the Bitcoin miners in the world protecting both Bitcoin and RSK. And the rest is history. So that's how it started.
That's why you have this Chinese second. Thank you so much. Okay, now we're all invited. You're all invited. Of course, it started, but let's have a party. There's really something to celebrate here. RSK and Bitcoin Latin America, in the capital of Latin America, in a way, in Miami here. Yeah. So, and we hope to do. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks, Rodolfo and Annalise, and of course the people here from the lab and BitBasel, Scott, Roger, Scarlett, everybody. Did I forget somebody? And of course, our selection committee, even Rodrigo's there. Hey, hello. So let's enjoy, let's socialize. Free drinks, free food. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy.
Buenos Aires, comenda number